Hello, hello, hello. Who is here with me today? Hello, hello, hello. I hope everybody is doing well. Welcome. All my cameras are kind of screwed up today. There's so much really fun stuff happening today in this week. I'm in the middle of the story conference actually, and I'm stepping away to come in live with you. So, are any of you watching the story conference? If you are not, you should be. I don't know if it's too late. If you can like climb in on day 1.5, but there's just been some incredible things happening over there. And today, what I want to do on our live stream, we're doing this weekly between now and all the way through October to really help you get ready to share a signature talk. That is what is on the horizon. It is so needed for us as we step out into the world more, bring our messages out into the world. And to have a signature talk is such a relief. So I want to share with you, it became so obvious to me. And I know this, and obviously I've been coaching speakers to do this for a long time, and 20 years, and I love a signature talk, and I've helped people develop theirs again and again. And I also, of course, have a signature talk or two. And this past week, this whole week, I'm doing two. They're not the same, but I'm doing two different speaking engagements. And over the last 2 days, I was doing this workshop, which is really based on my signature talk. And um, there was a little scheduling mix-up. I'm pretty sure it's on me. I'm just going to take that. It's on me. There was a scheduling mix-up. It was a day and a half workshop. I thought the first day we were doing a half day, and the second day we were doing a full day. I was wrong. And about 7:30 in the morning, I get a call, maybe it was like 7, and from the event planner who was like, I saw your email, and I had you down for a full day today. And I was like, oh, beep. Like, oh my gosh. Okay. I was like, I will be there in an hour. I walked in with 20 minutes to spare, plugged in, and just started. And I could do that because I had a signature talk. Oh my gosh. It was it was a moment where I was really grateful to trust my content and to trust myself with my content. Oh my gosh. So, this is important. It is a game changer for yourself. It's a game changer in terms of your stress level and the panic and the time. And you find a level of mastery when you have a signature talk that you don't get to as easily when you're just recreating every time. Now, of course, I am not a proponent of you've got one talk and you stick to it, like because that's not really present and it's not attuned to your audience and their specific needs, which is the utmost important thing. So, um, but it gets you 80% of the way there, 85% of the way there, and that's pretty amazing. All right, my friends, you are here, and today, why does the camera keep doing that? I don't know. But it's going to be a fun afternoon. Technology. That's the other thing that's been happening this week, you guys. Technology has not been my friend. But you know what? I'm a person who can go with the flow, luckily, and make it work. So we're not going to let a little tech issues get in our way, are we? No, we are not. All right, so today our focus on our Movers Live is focusing on our superpowers, but also what can be our kryptonite, to use the superpower metaphor and theme. And I do want you to know, like truly, my focus as a coach, as a supporter and a friend, I don't know, my focus is on our strengths. That's really important to me. And is we have to start there. We have to start really grounded in our strengths, what our superpower is. And if you don't know this yet, I hope that you go to bemoved.com/speaking superpower quiz and find out for yourself. Just 'cause these conversations are much richer when you know that for yourself. Um, but I don't start with deficits. I don't often work from our deficits. Once my speakers are really owning their strengths, once they have embraced their speaking superpower, we have to start there. Then we can start stretching into growth and stretching into new areas of expertise and mastery. Now there's always I'm always giving little tips and tricks, but the kind of challenges that we're going to be talking about today, I think they can be sort of kryptonite. These are things that are really pushing us. These are probably lifelong challenges. If you know me, you know that my belief and why I named my company BeMoved is because speaking is about being. And when we want to move our audience, what we are asking them to do is to walk in with us into change and transformation. And that is not a small thing. And if we want them to do that, then we ourselves have to do that as well. In this workshop over the last few days, was, it was kind of a reminder because most of the people in the room were very anxious about the idea of speaking. These are not people who are like, yes, I want to leverage speaking for my business like all of you. No, these were folks who truly were like, I hate this. I hate you right now. I can't believe you're going to make me do this. Down with speaking. And my job by the end of the day and a half was to get them up on their feet practicing some skills. But we're deluding ourselves that it was about skills. It was about becoming a speaker in even the tiniest sense that they were someone who could do this. One of the women said she had joined her church committee, like the big council or whatever. And one of the expectations on the council is that you speak to the community. And she said, I will only join if you do not make me speak. And they let her join. And she was telling me this. And by the end of the day and a half, after she'd gotten up and spoken and she did a beautiful job, she did a beautiful job. She said to me, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to do it. She's now becoming somebody who can speak at church, right? She's not going to be, somebody who leverages speaking like we do. She's not going to be a professional speaker. She's never going to go out and seek paid speaking gigs like we might do, but she was becoming something else in that experience. And so we start there. We start with really knowing ourselves, and then we can push into becoming other aspects of what we are capable of. And we tend to have really limited thinking on what we are capable of. So it's all really about knowing ourselves. So if you are not yet familiar with me, I'm I'm 10 minutes into this, and now I'm going to introduce myself, but that is what I'm going to do. Hello. Hello, my name is Sally Z, and I am a speaking coach, and my purpose and my mission is to create talks that move the world. And I work with purpose-driven entrepreneurs like you to leverage speaking in their business so they can grow their impact and their influence, so they can step on stage with more courage and clarity, and so that they can finally leave self-doubt and obscurity in the dust, that we can become what we are truly meant to be. And it is my joy. I love doing this. I show up here weekly. We do live trainings, and I'm so happy to have you here. If you're not watching with us live, that's great. Let me know that you are watching this, that you're seeing this. Throw something in the comments. I've got this really cool, you guys, I'm using Ecamm Live, And I share that with you. I'd like to kind of share with you the behind the scenes view of how this works with me. And oh, I just realized my husband stole my ring light. I'm like, something's different about this. It's fine. It's fine. We're rolling with it. Rolling with it. But I want to know if you are here. I see you. I see you, and I'm so glad that you're here. But leave a comment or a reaction, put it in the comments, and you might have to give Ecamm permission for you to do that so that I can see it and I can know that you're here, and other people can see it as well. But I will be using Ecamm a lot, so I think it's worth doing it. And if you're in YouTube, if you're watching this over in my new YouTube channel, it's brand new. It's just like a little baby channel right now. It's growing, and I'm so glad that you're here, and I hope that you will hit subscribe so that you don't miss any trainings or videos or experiences that I bring to you here on the BeMoved by Sally Z channel. Okay, so let's start with our Speaking Superpower framework. Have you taken this quiz yet? I hope so. BeMoved.com/speaking superpower quiz. And when you do, what you will see is there are 4 different types of speaker: the innovator, the motivator, the educator, and the storyteller. I want to share with you just a little bit about each one of these so that you can identify for yourself if you haven't yet taken the quiz. But even if you have taken it, it's helpful to know about these other types, and I will tell you why in just a moment. Okay, so let's start with our innovator. And the innovator is the type that is truly into possibility. Okay, they are all about systems wide thinking, what is possible. They really embrace the idea of disruption and challenge. And I love that. I think that, gosh, that is. That's so needed in our world today, right? People who really believe in change, they're not afraid of change. They really want to create change, and they're not afraid to kind of make a ruckus about it, right? That's why we think of them as innovators. So another word would be disruptor. I am super not a disruptor or an innovator, but I do love possibility. And um, what you'll notice is that I am actually a motivator. And the motivator looks more like this, okay? You're going to see the little bit of the educator too. The motivator is really a people-focused person, but also focused on possibility and growth. They're very big picture. So motivators and innovators have a lot in common. Motivators are more people-focused, and innovators are more systems-focused, but everybody above that line, so the motivator and the innovator, are focused on possibility, big picture thinking, growth. It's all about the future, right? Future-oriented people. And then below the line are more present now focused people. So that takes us to the educator, and you'll see this here. Educators are systems focused people. They're very now and present tense. It's very practical and tangible. It's really about here's what I know. I want to fix the systems. I want to inform you. Here is structure. Here is concrete. Here are boundaries that really can be so powerful. So, of course, as an educator, right, it's so incredibly powerful because we can offer our students or our audience practical ways to move forward. Okay, so maybe you're picking up on a theme here. To the left of the line are folks who are systems focused, and to the right of the line are folks who are people focused. So let's bring up now this one. This kind of tension right here, right? So we've got the storyteller who is all about empathy. They are really focused in the present day. It's about community. It's about people. So the storyteller and the educator, let's see if I can pull this up for you all. There we go. The storyteller and the motivator to the right of the line are focused on people, and to the left of the line are focused on systems. The top of the line are focused on future, and the bottom of that middle line are focused on now, right? It's so cool how connected they are. Now, maybe you have picked up for yourself, maybe you have picked up that what is really underneath this grid is the Myers-Briggs. And I'm not a Myers-Briggs expert by any means. Do you guys hear my dog? She is like 4 feet away. She's pawing at the door. There's 4 other humans in the house. Nobody's picking up on her need to go out the door. And I'm doing a live, so she's just gonna have to wait. Isn't that great? It's so great. I really love, we've got 3 kids home in distance learning. I'm in the middle of a conference. I'm doing a live with you. My husband and I shared office, and he stole my ring light. Wow, this is so exciting. Okay. Yes, Bailey, we're doing a live. So can you just hang with me for a minute? That'd be great. Okay. You should see her. She puts her little paw up on me, and it's so cute. All right, so we have this grid with all 4 types. All 4 types. Hold on, I'm gonna go let her out because this is ridiculous. Hold please, hold please. Oh gosh, it's real live. It's really live theater all happening here. Okay, so my friends, the grid is what's the underpin of that grid. It really is the Myers-Briggs. I'm not a Myers-Briggs expert, but my husband, the ring light stealer, is a Myers-Briggs expert. And so I've learned a ton, of course. But I think it's a really powerful framework because I think we get some good clarity about ourselves in some generic terms. But here's what I think is so powerful, and I already gave you a little bit of a preview of this. But of course, every strength has a shadow side, and every strength overused, right, becomes a weakness. Someone said that. There's a quote there. And this is what it looks like. We have opposites on this framework, right? So we have our motivator. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. We have our motivator and our educator that are opposites of each other, right? So the motivator is people focused and the educator is systems focused. The motivator is big picture focused and possibility and growth focused. And the educator is really now focused, practical, present focused, right? The motivator tends to talk grandiose, right? It's big picture, it's theory. And the educator says, nope, this is not about theory, this is about practice and the practical, right? Very tangible, concrete structure. And there's strengths to both of those. But if you are in one of those boxes, either the educator or the motivator, I want you to look to your opposite, because what that means is that if you are a motivator, what you can lean into to become even better at what you do is to make sure that you do not skip over your structure. You don't skip over your tangible. You don't skip over the step by step, right? Because if it's too up there in the clouds and too big picture and too theory, people don't have anything to hang on to. Okay. Now I'm a motivator that loves structure. So either maybe I haven't typed myself right, or I learned by people and was coached by people initially who were very good at structure, and I learned that from them. And now it's a really important part of my coaching process. I like really want to clean up the content so it has good structure, because I trust then that we are handing our audience something that they can walk away with, something that is clear, clarity. Educators are great at clarity. But where educators can grow into is this motivator side, right? This idea of inspiration, of possibility. It's not just about the now. But people have to have some sense of why this matters from a big picture level. What is at stake? What is this all about? I mean, there's a reason why motivators are seen as really persuasive speakers. That is kind of the whole core, their heart and core of their approach is about persuasion. And that's because the most important question we can answer from a persuasion perspective is, why does this matter? What is at stake? What's the harm? And motivators live in that space, right? It's very emotive, and educators tend to be very head. And so we want educators to drop down more into their gut, more into the emotive core of their being. It's not just about what they know, it's also something down here. Okay, so there's a really beautiful tension that exists between these two types. Now, let's look at this type. Again, we're gonna make this a little bit smaller and move this off to the side here so you can see, but not too small so you can read what's here. Can you read that? Good. Okay. So then we've got the innovator and the storyteller whose tension and opposites you can learn a lot from each other on, right? So we have the innovator, right? So the top half of the framework, it's all about possibility, and the left side of the framework, that's all about systems. And you get somebody who's not afraid of challenge and disruption, and it can be very abstract, right? Some of the strengths of the motivator, but where they struggle are the strengths of the storyteller, right? So the storyteller is all about empathy and connection. It's very people focused. It's about community. They really get their audience. They understand them, partly because they're very people focused, but also because it's very grounded in the now. They're not ignoring the now for the sake of the future. It's very, very focused on now. And what storytellers can learn from their innovators is to learn how to really lead, to not be afraid. If they stay all in feeling, they lose out on this opportunity to really direct, to challenge, and um, to make a little bit more of a ruckus, right? Storytellers, if they sit in that for too long, it becomes too soft, okay? And it's a gift. It's a gift. And I don't want to like that core of empathy is a superpower. And I would never want to take that away. But if we stay in just in our square and we don't really lean into and grow into the possibility of this other place, we tend to become kind of one note. It's sort of like the speaker I used to work with a long time ago. He is very funny, and that was his gift. He was just like so easily really, really funny. And especially we were talking to high school kids. It's so great to have somebody who is funny because it just makes the likability factor shorten so much, and kids will go with you, and it's such a strength and such a great tool to use with audiences is to be funny. But the thing that made him effective wasn't the funny, it was that he was also able to be direct and serious, sincere, and to really articulate the harm. And so that was an incredible asset to be able to flip that switch. And that's what we want to do here is we want to embrace our superpower and know where we're moving towards, know what the next phase of our growth is. Because ideally, we can play all these cards at different times as needed, right? Because sometimes, guess what? Sometimes you are gonna want to be have the strengths of the motivator, right? The inspiration and the kind of energy and the connection and the stage presence of the motivator. But there's moments where you want to get really tangible and practical as the educator. You want to be grounded in the empathy of the storyteller of the now to really understand what your audience is struggling with in the now, but not be afraid to challenge them too, like the innovator does. And we can do all those things. Absolutely. We can do all of those things. Um, and I've seen it. And ideally, once we know our own strength, then it makes it much easier to lean into these other areas. Yes? All right. I hope that makes sense to all of you. Thank you so much for being here. And my hope here is that, oh, there's my other screen. Things have been hiding. You guys, I'm getting a new computer next week. Does that feel timely? I think it does. It surely does. Okay, so if you are still here and you are watching with me here on this Movers Live, I'd love to know. Hop in the comments, tell me which type are you? Does this resonate with you, especially in terms of the challenges? What are the challenges that you heard me talk about that you're like, yep, that's my challenge, and I'm leaning into that? And before you go, I have a quick favor to ask of you. I would really love for you to share with me. You can DM me for a PDF. That's really not what I want to say. What I would really like for you to do is I would love for you to find me over on YouTube, the new YouTube. You're a motivator, Caroline. I love it. Yay, Caroline is here. Caroline is a motivator. That's fabulous. Um, Me too, Caroline. Do the challenges resonate with you, Caroline, in terms of um, what you need to lean into, keeping it tangible and practical and structure, making sure that we aren't just theory, but we really keep it structured and contained so that our audience can come with us. Love it. Okay, so my request for you is that you will head over to YouTube and find the new baby YouTube channel, BeMoved by Sally Z. I think that I might have like 25 subscribers right now, you guys. That's pretty sad. And my goal here is to get to 100 as quickly as we can. And if everybody who watches this goes over and subscribes, we'll get there much faster. Maybe in a few days. Wouldn't that be fabulous? I would love that. Um, because it will help more people find this really important work. My mission is to help create talks that move the world, but we need more of us moving the world to do it. Okay. Thanks for being here. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day. I will see you back here next week here in the Move Your Audience page where we will be going live weekly. This is all as we move up and start getting ready for our 5-day challenge, October 12th. I just paused for a second because I was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't even tell you the date today if you asked. October 12th, we launch our 5-day challenge, which is all about jumpstarting your talk. We're going to get really clear, most importantly, on your talk topic, because that clarity around what is it that I want to talk about can hold people back for months. That's not going to be you. We've got some important things. You have a voice and a message that needs to be shared. So I'm going to help you get there faster starting on October 12th. So we'll be very excited to see you all there. And there will be lots more people coming into the group as we get closer to that. And these trainings are going to help you jumpstart your talk. And I'm so honored to be a part of it with you. All right, my friends, have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.